Hi guys, welcome back to Ashley Stewart Yoga. Today's practice we're going to emphasize quads, so you might want to have a blanket or something cushiony to put under your knee if you have a lot of knee sensitivity. A block could be a good option too to help lift, to make more space for grabbing for our binds today. So pause the tape if you need to grab those items, and then we'll start in a child's pose. Take your knees together today in your child's pose and let your whole belly just rest on top of the thighs, allowing the head to connect either to your block or to the mat. Feel weight dropping back through your hips. And as those hips drop back to the feet, leave them connected and heavy, but then find a little more length in your spine. Stretch out your arms, reach your fingers forward. Feel your breath guiding from those fingertips all the way down to your tail. As you breathe, there is a soft stretching action that you can sense, feeling that little bit of movement of the skin on the back body. Breathing in a little bit deeper as you land on your mat and you land into your practice. Hearing the breath a little bit more audible, building that internal fire and heat so we can warm our muscles. Taking your last moment here, deep breath in, stretching into the side body, and deep breath out. Gently walk your hands back in until you roll up into a hero's pose. Feel free to place your block between your feet so you have something to sit on if it's too intense to start here. Allow your hands to interlace. Flip your palms face out, stretching them out from your chest, rounding out the back, feeling the front body hollow. As you inhale, lift those palms up to the sky, finding a little bit more of a cow shape of your spine. Lift the chin, look up, full breath in. And then exhale, push it back out. Find the rounding of the spine. Every little bit of air is squeezed out through those ab muscles. Inhale, lift it back up. Feeling the shoulders tucking down. Keep space for the sides of the neck as you breathe in. And then exhale, round it out, coming back to that seated cat pose. Empty out, find the arms a little bit longer. Palms push away. And then last one, inhale, lifting back up. Chest is high, shoulders are low, feeling that nice stretch to the front. As you exhale, come forward into a table position. You can gently barrel roll, finding that spinning of the rib cage. You can find a cat and cow, a shake of the head, a wag of the tail. Take the next 3 breaths here just to create any movement that feels good. Maybe you lift one wrist and roll it. Lift the other wrist and roll it. Meeting back towards your neutral position and table, feeling that little bit of tension at the lower belly as you have activity going on there. Stretch your right leg up, keeping yourself level here with the rest of the limbs. As you exhale, round your knee in towards your nose, finding that puff of the back again like cat. Inhale, straighten back out, and then exhale, bring that knee back into your nose. One more time, lengthen long. And then as you exhale, find the abdomen's working to hollow out your front body. Inhale, stretch it out. And this time as you exhale, bring the right foot outside the right hand. Set it up so your knee is right over your ankle. And then lift and spread the toes down, just letting every toe pad have its space on the mat. You can guide the left knee back here, finding a little bit more space and opening to the front of the hip and the inner thighs. We're going to stay here. If you want more, you can always walk your hands forward. You could bring that block under your elbows. 2 more breaths. Let it be deep. Let yourself hear it. Nice and audible breathing. Inhale and exhale. One more. Inhale and exhale. Gently wiggle that foot between your hands. Just take 1 half split. Push your hips back. Lift the right toes. Spread them apart. And then bend back forward into your knee. Guiding that right foot back, coming into your first downward dog, curl both your feet, toes under, and then lift those knees from the ground, sending your hips high so your back looks like a pike position. Your palms are widened and flat on the mat at shoulders distance. Feel a lot of length in your spine happening. If you want to shake out your head, you could roll your chin from shoulder to shoulder. Let yourself feel yourself get longer from your fingers all the way to the tailbone, stretching up. Take 1 more breath here. Inhale and exhale. Come back down to your table position. Begin to stretch out that left leg. Keep your balance in your other limbs. Notice if you're jutting out to the right or bending the right elbow. Keep everything centered and stacked. With the left leg long, as you exhale, knee into nose, round it out. Inhale, take it back. Find a little more stretch through that heel, a little more activation through toe. And then exhale, curl it in, knee into your nose. Last one, longest leg yet on this left side. Reach, reach, reach. Inhale with that breath. When you're ready to let it go, exhale, knee in towards the nose. Now as you stretch it back, you're going to transition that left foot outside your left hand. Make sure it's on the mat, so heel toe it in if it's off the mat. Get the knee over your ankle, scoot the right knee back to whatever degree feels ready for you to start to open. We're not trying to get into like a 10 intensity. We want to find that middle ground where we feel the body starting to get a good stretch, but we're not pushing it too far yet. As we're here, you can always drop your elbows down. You can always walk your hands forward. Finding another 2 breaths, deep inhale and deep exhale. One more deep inhale. And then deep exhale. Bring that left foot, heel toe it into the center, half split, straighten out. Lengthening your spine, feel your collarbone reach towards those left toes. And then gently rebend the left knee. Guiding the knee back, we're going to come down onto our belly. So you can use a chaturanga to transition. Hands are going to be right by your chest side. Let the tops of the toes push down so your kneecaps float, finding a baby cobra inhale. And then as you exhale, reach your left arm long and roll onto your left side. Stacking your body, bring your right heel in towards your glute and reach for that foot or ankle with your right hand. Finding the knees staying, stacking here as you might add a little bit of kick into the hand to open up the quad. It is a challenge on your balance, so take your time to add that pressure in the hand as you're kicking. Take another 2 rounds of breath. Feel it run all the way down the front of that leg. And exhale, softness stays in the face. One more breath, inhale all the way down. Keeping your jaw soft, your face soft, exhale. Without slingshotting, just release your bind, roll it back down to your belly. Bringing your hands both by your chest, take another round of your cobra. Inhale, see if there's a little more height you can get. And then as you exhale, stretch your right arm out and roll it onto your right edge. As you find your stacking, left heel pulls in towards the back body, and the left hand's going to grab that foot. As you grab your bind, try to realign your knees and then add whatever pressure this leg is ready to take. Our legs can be very different. I know that my quads feel completely like they're on different bodies from left to right, so honor what this side is presenting and don't force it into a box. Give yourself these last 2 breaths here, mindfully breathing in long, steady breath. And exhale, letting go of some of that tension that's built up. One more round. Inhale all the way down. And exhale back out. Without slingshotting, release it back down to your belly. Bring your hands by your chest side. Curl your toes, lift your knees. Still have your chest on the ground here. Start to feel your belly button draw up into the spine, lifting it off the mat. And then really strong in every knuckle of your hand, push up into your high plank position. Gently press your hips back, finding your second down dog. Bending the knees, alternating a little sway of the hips. Let it feel good. Discover what the second one feels like. Every time we repeat the posture, we get a little bit more space so we can push our limit a little bit more out. Finding your last and final breath here for this down dog. Begin to lift your heels, bend your knees. Look and either walk or hop forward to the top side of the mat. As you find the top, exhale every bit of your breath out, feeling your abs pull in and your head drop low. Inhale, halfway rise. Draw your shoulders back to your hips. And then exhale, fold it back down. Reversing your swan dive, spread your wings, send your arms up and overhead, palms touch, look up, and then bring them down into your heart. Coming into this point of setting an intention for your practice. As we've already been moving, we've already been breathing. Where is your mind and your emotion been? Are you here with yourself, or are you still wandering in that external world? Close your eyes and drop in. What do I need in this moment? What helps me to release? What makes me feel my best? You can take an affirmation, a mantra here to recite as we continue to flow on, or simply just let your breath be your main focus. When you're ready, lift the arms back overhead, spread your fingers as you swan dive, exhale all the way down. Halfway rise, hands on those shins. As you exhale, bend the knees a lot to plant the palms down and step back to your plank. Pause here, nice long line from heel to crown. Feel the lower ab muscles pulling in. There's a slight drawdown of the tail. Rock it forward off your toes. Chaturanga, use your knees if you need to. And up dog, flip to the top of the foot. Push down so the thighs are floating. Opening the collarbone, guide your shoulders back and down. Engage your abs, pull them in, and then roll back on toes. Downward dog, take your hips high. As you find your downward dog, pedal and walk your feet towards each other. Lift your heels both up at the same time, inhale, and then drop both your heels down, exhale. Leave the left heel low, stretch your right leg up to the sky. Feel a nice long line through the right heel, and the higher the right heel lifts, the lower the left heel feels like it's getting. Now rise onto the left toes, getting high in that arch. Bring your right foot forward between your hands. Ease the left knee down, find your stack of right knee over ankle. And we're going to go for about 90-90 here. So it's okay if it's not perfect in our leg shape, but aim to have that 90-degree bend in the front leg and the back leg. Bring your hands on the right thigh, rise up. As you're rising up, feel your tailbone drop heavy and down and the front hip bones lifting. Getting a little bit more neutral in our pelvis, but also activating a release into our left hip. As you're here, feel energy through the left knee pulling forward and energy through the right foot dragging back. Again, just activating a little bit more release into our left hip. Take a nice deep breath. See if you're gritting your teeth or gritting your jaw. Let it go. One more inhale. One more exhale. Drop your hands back down. Finding that left palm, planting a little bit ahead of your left shoulder. Bring your right hand back onto your thigh and push into the thigh to twist. Spinning your right side of the ribs on top of the left. Rotate and gaze up over that shoulder. Use your abs here. So exhale, twist, and pull belly muscles in. You can always soften on the inhale so you have more breath that you can pull in. One more time, exhale, take your twist. And then start to turn back down, right palm inside of the right foot. Lift your left knee, step back into your high plank pose. Drop your elbows underneath your shoulders, finding your forearm plank. Getting nice and strong here. Again, draw your tailbone down and the hip bones in the front in a little bit towards your navel. Finding a little more activation by dragging energy of the elbows to the feet and the feet trying to pull forward towards those elbows. We should feel that immediate shake happening, that nice burning action happening right in our abs. Take it one more breath, steady and soft in the face, and then walk your feet back until your thighs fall down onto the ground so you're in your Sphinx pose. As you're here, lift your chest up, guide your shoulders back and down. And then we're going to use our left hand, swing it all the way towards the right elbow. So now our left forearm is more parallel with the front line of the mat. Bend your back right knee and see if that right hand can reach back for the ankle or the foot. As you find it, if it feels appropriate for whatever is happening in your body today, add that little kick into the hand. Feeling that quad open, keep the front of the pelvis pushing down towards the mat, and use your breath. It is your guide for creating release. It's your guide for finding your power, whether it's the power of your muscles or the power that your spirit has. Close your eyes and drop within. One more round, inhale, and then exhale. Don't slingshot, just release, let go of that foot. Bring your right forearm in front of your left, so now your right forearm's parallel. And then take your left knee to a bend in the left end, so you're going to sweep back to transition to the second side. Finding wherever you can hold, and then deciding in this side if it feels good for you to kick and activate, or if just grabbing that foot and pushing your hips forward and down is enough. Keep space for your neck, so if you're starting to drop into your shoulders, still be strong in that right arm to keep yourself upright. Take it here, 2 more breaths, inhale, and then exhale. One more, inhale, then exhale. So try not to slingshot, but just gently release that bind. This time, swing your right forearm back into alignment so that way the fingers point to the front line of the mat and bring the left arm to match. Going ahead and curl your toes. Start to come back to your forearm plank. Finding that strength one more time here. Elbows pull to toes. Toes pull in towards elbows. Breathe it steady and strong. Inhale 3. Let it go. Inhale 2. Embrace the shake. Let it go. One more time. Inhale. And then exhale. Press it back up to your high plank. Shift it back to downward dog. Pedal and shake. Feel free to rock it out. Shake your head, shake your hips, do whatever feels nice. As you find your shake and your rocks, just start to bring your toes closer together. As your big toes touch, lift both your heels, stretch them high, and then drop them low. Keep that right foot pressing down as the left foot reaches up. Feel a lot of length in your left foot. Find the toes spreading, and as that leg lifts, the right heel gets even lower. Take this last moment just to feel the down dog split, and then pick up onto your right toes. Find that left foot coming between your hands. Ease the right knee down, find your stack of 90-90, and gently bring your hands onto your left thigh. Pressing into the hands to lift up the torso. Get that tailbone to draw down, neutraling your pelvis more. Feel the lower belly muscles pulling up and in a little here. And keep your shoulders, you can roll them up and down, so we don't want to be shrugging or leaning forward too much. Keeping the stack of the shoulder over the hip. Find that energy of your heel and your back knee. So that front left heel is pulling back and that right knee is hugging forward. And then use your breath. Stay strong on the inhale. Feel something releasing through your exhale. Take it 2 more times, simply breathing and keeping the teeth a little parted, but the lips are still closed. Last one here. Gently bring your hands down, plant your right palm wide and flat, just ahead of your shoulder. Bring your left hand back to the thigh. Press into that left thigh, create your rib twist on the second side, peeking up over that left shoulder. And taking this 2 more rounds, activate through your belly muscles, feel them help to empty the breath. As you release the ab muscles, inhale even further. And then exhale, take it again. Gently bring that left hand down inside of the leg. Step that left foot back, and you're going to come into your high plank again. This time, option for vinyasa if you want to rock forward off your toes, taking chaturanga, cobra, or up dog, and then using your breath to guide yourself back into your downward facing dog. Bringing your toes together in your down dog. Lift your heels, inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, look to the front top of the mat. Walk or hop your feet to the front. If you have any other breath left, just squeeze it out and then immediately halfway rise. Exhale, fold it back down. Reverse your swan dive. Inhale, stand it nice and tall. And then bring your palms into your heart. Exhale. As you're here, notice where the feet are. Let's put them under hips distance today, but if you prefer to have your feet closer together for this balance pose, you can always guide your feet to touch to start. With the weight in the right foot, bring your left heel up towards your glute. You're going to reach the left hand for the inner arch of the foot, and then start to kick down into that hand. Try to keep your knees in alignment, and feel your glutes actively pushing your hips a little more forward without a big lean back, just enough where you start to feel more firing and opening to that front left hip. Guide the breath down, stay steady. If you need to, you could always prop your right hand against something to help your balance. And then slowly release that left foot down. Bringing that right foot up now, balancing the weight into your left side. Make sure to spread out your left toes. Keep all that little connection in the feet that you can create. And then the right heel comes to the glute. Right hand grabs that inner arch. Kick down. Find your knees lining up. Find that little push forward of the glutes, opening the front of the hip. Feeling that toning that happens to the abs as we do that. And then breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Release that foot down. Reaching your arms up and wide, inhale, and then swan dive, drop it back down to the mat. Halfway rise, lengthen, and then start to step your left foot back. As your left foot comes back, make sure your right knee's over your ankle, and then if your feet feel like they're in a good stance here, go ahead and rise, because we're going to come up into high lunge. If you need to shorten your stance or lengthen it because it doesn't feel stable, go ahead and fix that now, and then lift up. As you lift up, get that neutral pelvis. You're going to feel the left heel high and that left hip hugging forward in alignment with the right. We can use our arms or leave the arms the same. It's up to you for this next motion. We're going to exhale and bend your left knee, feeling the front of the left thigh hugging forward. So if you want, you could bend the elbows too, or just leave the arms the same. Go ahead and straighten out your left leg and then bend it again. One more time, straighten it out, just to bend it again here. Now as you bend it, lower it all the way down to the mat. And we're gonna leave the right knee over the ankle, but we're gonna scoot the left knee back and away. Let your left hand come onto the ground or a block if you need a little more space. We're gonna bend the left knee and pick that foot up towards the glute. Right hand's gonna reach back for that bind. Finding the heart rotating up and open to the right side of your room and your space. Keep space for your neck here as you breathe. Allow your hips to fall down towards your left wrist. And then just find that softness. Close your eyes. Be in your body. What can I change in this moment? What am I giving my power and my energy to? To a belief that nothing can change in my body, that I can't change anything? Or am I allowing myself to see that not everything is a flip of a switch? Some things take a little bit of time, but as long as I'm aware and as long as I'm observing what I'm doing, I can make the choices that lead to the direction I want to go. Slowly release that foot and then find your half split again, framing the leg, push your hips back, pull those toes back and up towards your shin. Gently bend back into that knee. Bring your right hand to the inside, and then we're going to step that knee back. Finding your downward dog, curl the toes, lift your hips. Pedal out through your feet, and then begin to walk or hop your feet towards your hands. Coming back to the front side of the mat, halfway rise, inhale, and then exhale, fold. Reverse it up, rise all the way to the sky, palms touch overhead and look to those thumbs. And then pull thumbs down, balancing through the mind and landing into the heart. Release and sweep, arms come back overhead, inhale, swan dive and exhale. Halfway rise, bend your knees a lot and start to plant the hands so that way you can step the right foot back. Find the stance that feels stable for you. Take your time where you can feel that right heel get high already. And then take your arms from the ground, sweep them up to the sky. Steady out your pelvis, line up your hips, and then we're going to bend that back knee, feeling that right thigh squeezing forward. Inhale, straighten the leg, and then exhale, bend it again. The back heel is high. Inhale, straighten, and then exhale, bend, pause it here. You're going to lower that knee all the way down. Let the hands come to the ground, and you can scoot the right knee a little further back, right palm on the mat or on your block. Left hand's gonna lift up either onto left thigh or reach for that back right foot here for the twist. And the twist and the bind. So as you grab that foot, finding your bind, letting yourself rotate the heart towards the left. Gaze can be up if the neck is sensitive. Gaze could be to the side or even down. Allow yourself to close eyes, drop in here. We have a few things that we can always control, and one of them is our breath. So taking it one breath at a time, deepen it here, inhale with the breath. Feel those hips fall toward your right wrist. Deepen with that breath, noticing the ocean sound of waves crashing into any tense points. As you exhale, this nice releasing of that front quad. One more round, see if you can stay here, and then let it go. Release the left hand, find your half split, push the hips back. Spread those left toes, nice long leg, and then gently rebend into the knee. Planting your hands, lift your right knee, step it back to your plank, an option for vinyasa here, taking your chaturanga, cobra or up dog, and then roll back into your downward facing dog. Down dog, 3 breaths. Feel your palms very spread, so we have that whole hand connected down. Those hips are lifting and being pushed back. The knees could be bent or they could be straight, depending on our spine. So if the spine is rounding, bend the knees. If your spine's long, then try that challenge to straighten the legs too. Start to walk your feet towards your hands. This time, pick up your heels, come into your toe stand. Balancing here, guide your hands into your heart and just see if you can keep the heels lifting up. Take this for another breath, getting your shoulders right over your hips. And then plant your feet down. Challenge is to plant the feet first without those hips immediately dropping. And then let those hips drop down. Scoot more to the center of your mat, taking yourself into a boat pose. Start to float your hands by your thighs. And then you can either boat all the way down onto your back, or you can hold the backs of the thighs and just bring them with you as you lay down on your back. We're going to sit up for our bridge. Start to plant your feet about hips distance. Getting yourself with rooted toes and those shoulders tucking together. Your palms can be face up by your hips, and let yourself start to connect a little more energy through the heel. Feel the heel squeezing towards your shoulders. So by firing up our hamstrings, it's going to help to release the front of the leg. So we already have the hamstring firing before we've even lifted our bum from the ground. From here, we'll have a slight lift of the tail. So think of tucking your tail, and then we'll lift up, opening ourselves into our bridge, helping those thighs to stretch a little bit more. Finding a gentle squeeze of the glutes at the top, just as our final hip flexor quad release here. See if you want to bring the hands together. If you can interlace and pinkies can stay down on the ground, leave them. If it's interlacing but the hands are really high from the ground, then just leave your palms face up, allowing the chest to open on its own. Taking about 2 more breaths here. See if there's a little bit more lift through your inhale, and keep the height and keep the softness through your exhale. Last round, lifting up. And then pick up your heels so you're on the tips of the toes and the ball of the foot. Gently release any hand binds and roll your upper back down. Roll down to the middle back, roll down to the tail last. Start to float your feet up so your knees are bent at 90 again. And just pause here while the lower back lengthens and the abs get a little activation to help reset the spine. If you want, you can always reach your hands straight up from the shoulders here, looking like a dead bug, to add into a little bit more of that core and coordination. Last breath, inhale and exhale. Bring your hands onto your knees, pull your knees in towards your chest. Gently pull the knees apart and reach for the sides of the feet, just a quick happy baby. You can rock it side to side, you can rock it or hold still. Bringing your knees closer together, let the arms fall out either into a T, cactus, or diamond shape, and the knees are going to drop to the right. As the knees drop to the right, keep your shoulders level. You can always look away to the left, or I like keeping my chin up. It just feels comfortable on my neck, so finding what suits you in this moment. As you breathe, become heavier in your legs. You can always take the block between your feet or between your legs. Be heavy and surrender your body weight down. Moving slowly, start to lift your legs. Bringing them to the center, hands on the knees briefly. Stir the knees around like you're stirring a pot. Go both directions. And then let your arms go back out into a shape and the knees will fall to the left. Keeping your shoulders down and level. Support with a block between your legs if you need to, or underneath the thigh. Let your body weight be nice and heavy. Let the head turn if it feels good. Otherwise, keep the chin to the center. Allow your body to unfold here, taking your breaths deep and steady to create a lot of release. Softening at the face, eyes are closed here, and they can remain closed for the remainder of the practice. Deepening your breath, inhale, and just drop it down, exhale. Begin to lift your knees back and up to center. Finding your Shavasana, lengthen the legs out, spreading them out towards the corners of the mat. Rock it a little bit side to side, tucking shoulders down, moving the hips so that way the lower back feels comfortable. Guiding your arms down by your side with the palms face up. Separate the teeth so there's no gritting, no grinding, just the softness of the closed lips. And then your eyes are still closed and you can feel the weight of the lids against the eyeball. As you breathe, feel a smoothness run over you from head to toe, surrendering all your body weight down. Every breath makes a dropping sensation as if the mat is holding you and you're falling a little bit deeper. Allow yourself to. Allow yourself to let go of any tension. Allow yourself to let go of too many thoughts. Let go of waves of emotion. And just let yourself rest. Keep surrendering your weight. Falling deeper and deeper. Leaving your eyes closed. Tell your fingers it's time to move and curl them into the palm. Gently let them expand back out, widening. Then curl them back in. And then spread them back out. With a wide palm, stack them onto the heart. Breathing into that space of the hand. Connecting to your heartbeat, to this moment right here, right now. In this moment, I have control of my breath. Beginning to bend at the knees. Start to roll onto your right side, using the arm as a pillow. Left hand comes on the ground by the chest. Push through that left hand, rising up into your seat. Sitting tall in your spine, reach your arms up, palms seal together, and guide down into the heart. Bowing your chin to your chest, finding gratitude for your practice, for showing up. Taking a breath in, feeling your worth, maybe even stating, I am worthy. Recognizing your light. The light in me sees the light in you. Namaste.